Good morning. We've got woodland photography today. I came up. Sorry, there's something in the trees behind me. I think I've got some deer just behind me. Anyway, yeah. I'd come up to Loch Venachar for sunrise this morning, but it wasn't really much of a sunrise. Well, technically it's not actually risen yet, but it wasn't looking promising for getting any photographs. There was no colour in the sky at all, and it's a little bit of cloud cover, but it wasn't looking like we were going to get much. So I've come along to a little wood that I know. Normally I come here in spring. It's a little bluebell wood, but I thought I'd come along today. I don't remember if I've ever been here in autumn before, so I thought I'd come along, have a look at it, see what it's like. Sometimes in the morning you get a bit of mist and things like that, but I don't think we're getting that today either. So it's really just a little wander with the camera, and if we get anything then that'll be a bonus, but I'm not hopeful. But yeah, onwards and upwards. Yeah, we have some lovely colours just now in the ferns. It's just a matter of trying to find a nice shot though. It's amazing the difference between spring and autumn here. All of this where you can see all the ferns, in springtime it's just a sea of bluebells. I'll stick a shot here actually of what this place looks like when the spring's out, when the bluebells are out. It is incredible. Yeah, I get the feeling this is going to be one of those days where I'm just picking out details, like, you know, these little trees here, the ferns. And we've got just a little bit of rain starting. Which just adds to it. It's gorgeous, it's absolutely beautiful. I should probably say this is going to be probably my most rushed video to date. It's Friday morning and I'll be posting this tonight, Friday night. I did actually have a video which was going to be released tonight, but I've had to pull that because it was a little video about my ongoing project about the road to the Isles, and I was going to introduce everybody to my latest exhibition, which started on Monday in the 13th Note in Glasgow. That's a venue I've had a few exhibitions there now, probably 4 or 5 I think. But the exhibition was launched on on Monday, so what's that, 4 days ago, something like that. And I was going to release a video tonight showing you a little bit behind the scenes, giving everybody on YouTube a look at the exhibition for anybody that couldn't get along. And our fine Scottish Government yesterday decided to pull the rug out from under the hospitality industry because of this ongoing pandemic, and they pretty much closed from 6 p.m. tonight. All bars and restaurants and places like that, venues like that, for the next 2 weeks. So although I have an exhibition running for 4 weeks, just over 2 weeks, 16 days of it are going to be behind locked doors, and I didn't really see the point in promoting an exhibition that nobody can get to see. So it's just my luck, isn't it? Anyway, so I thought I'd come out. And originally my plan, I think I'd mentioned earlier, was to try and get a nice sunrise, but it just wasn't happening. I went to Loch Venachar and also along to Loch Venachar, but neither were looking particularly inspiring, so I decided to come here instead, try and get a little bit of exercise and clear my head after what's been quite a difficult week. Yeah, if we grab a shot, all the better. If not, what I'll maybe do, I don't know if this is allowed in the world of YouTube, but I'll maybe show you some of my favourite images from this location taken over the years, because as I said, this is a place that I try to get to at least once or twice a year because it's just stunning. But there's a little hill here behind me. I'm going to follow this path. I'm not going to go down to the loch side today, but I'll follow the path and it kind of skirts the side of the hill and climbs up to the summit up there. It's not particularly high. It's raining heavily now, so brings out the colours. This is what we like. Right shape. Yeah, it's raining quite heavily now. I thought I had the woods to myself, but a party of walkers, probably 10-15 people, just appeared out of nowhere there. I couldn't quite work out where they'd come from, but it's just on me. There's a holistic centre not too far from here. I suspect they've come from there because there was no other cars in the car park when I arrived. But, yeah, still a beautiful place. Yeah, obviously we have just a little hint of sunlight coming through, but not much. Direct sunlight in the woods isn't usually a good thing anyway when you try to do a bit of photography. You end up with some very bright brights and some very dark darks, so sort of flat light's actually quite a good thing. What do you see behind? As you can see, there's An awful lot of light. I've just remembered something. Come on, I'll introduce you to Clach. Anyway, one of the things I love about the Trossachs, and this area in particular, other than the obvious scenic beauty, is the history and the folklore of the area. It's just teeming with legends, and I'm near Loch Venachar, and Loch Venachar, I don't know if anybody knows this, but there's a legend, a group of children. I'll see if I can find the details before I post this, and I'll include the dates along the bottom. But yeah, there's an account of a group of children who said that they encountered a kelpie, a water horse, not too far from here, just a little bit further down the loch, where yeah, they were playing in the water, and they said that a water horse came out of the woods behind them. The woods are actually still, I can't remember the name of the woods. It's now called something like the Woods of Sorrow or something like that. This water horse came out of the wood. Some of the children approached it, and it dragged them into the loch. And of course, the survivors fled and reported it, and it appeared in, I've seen it in several publications now, so yeah, people clearly believed it. And this is another one of those mythical things behind me. Let me just get the angles right here. This large boulder here is called Clach. Clach, as I'm no doubt sure you're aware, Clach is Gaelic for stone, rock, that sort of thing. And legend has it that this is a troll that forgot to get out of the sunlight, and so was turned to stone. Don't believe me, have a look at this. Can you believe I'm being heckled by a herd of cows? That's incredible. Anyway, we have a little bit of light starting to peek over some clouds on the horizon. If you can see it behind me, it's just starting to pick out the tops of the trees. I'm going to set the camera up, see if I can grab something. At least walk away with an image from the day, if nothing else. I think Clach's looking good there. We'll maybe try and get him. Oh, female trolls are available. So yeah, apologies there with a very, very brief bit of light that came breaking down through this little glen here, and it was picking out details in like this old tree here, and down there you can still see the last remnants of that, but probably poor from a a YouTube point of view, but I concentrated on the photography, I'm afraid. Grabbed a couple of snaps. Didn't have an awful lot of time to work on a record-breaking composition, but yeah, I just basically snapped what caught my eye. And what caught my eye was the dark clouds and the light hitting those trees and picking out little details in the ferns. So there's still a little bit of light. I'll turn this around again. Still a little bit of light picking out this tree here, and obviously in the background there. So and we're just starting to get some light again in the ferns here. So I might take a vertical shot here, try and include this foreground tree and this in the background, and yeah, we'll see how that looks. Okay, I kind of like this composition, but I'm waiting for some light to, this little tree here. Every now and again the light comes in and illuminates those brown ferns in the background and just picks out details on these trees. I'm right next to Clark again, as you can tell. I'm just waiting for the light to come back again, hopefully. I'm using this old branch here as a kind of leading line, which draws your eye into that little space there underneath the arch, and that kind of frames those ferns. So all I'm waiting for now is some light. I might actually change my lens while I'm waiting, although looks like we're getting just a little bits of light coming through just now. But yeah, I might change the lens so that I can include some of the rock in at the side. At the moment I'm on my 2040 105 lens, but I think that might work because, as you can see, the light's just starting to pick out some of the details in these leaves and things like that on the side as well. The 16 to 35mm lens now. That's allowed me to get a lot closer to the rock here, pick out the details in the leaves, etc. I'm focusing on the closest part of the rock. I still have the leading line here taking you into the little arch. So yeah, it looks okay, just a matter of waiting for the light now. The joys of landscape photography. Is this even landscape photography? Oh, woodland photography? I don't know. Definitions, eh? And suddenly we got a wee burst of light. So I'm hoping that's worked out okay. I kind of like the way the light is kind of backlighting this tree here, and you can see it's picking out the colours a wee bit more, with just a little hint of light on the rock here as well, which is picking out some details in those fallen leaves. And these ferns here kind of backlit as well. I might actually recompose slightly so that I've got some more of these ferns, because at the moment it's about half rock and half trees, so I might change that and try and include some of this backlit fern. But yeah, it's looking nice now. I did try recomposing, but it doesn't really work because you've got very, very bright, that's Loch Venachar down there. That's quite a bright background, and as soon as you try and recompose the image in any way, you start to include that, which isn't ideal. So, but yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I've got a little hint. I'm kind of deliberately underexposing, just so that the lit areas pop a bit more. And yeah, it looks nice. That looks quite nice. Right, what I've done here is I've got the wide angle lens on again, and there's an old tree stump here which is kind of covered in leaves and moss, and then obviously you've got these lovely ferns and this old tree stump here, and I'm trying to find a composition that includes all of that. Got the wide angle lens on to really try and emphasise the foreground quite a bit, and also I've got the camera tipped down slightly, so I'm trying to cut out this bright background again. Yeah, let's see how that looks. Yeah, it looks not too bad. I don't know if you can see this from the back of the camera, but I've basically set up, so I've got this fern pretty much central to the frame, and these trees in the background here, and just down there the light's just starting to pick out some more of the details, so I've got quite close, and I'm trying to include as much of that detail as I can. And as you can probably see from the back of the camera, we still have a little bit of clipping here because it's still very, very bright in the background. But yeah, we're getting there. Right, I like this shot. Pretty much shooting into the light. It's raining quite heavily now, but we still have some little shafts of light which are coming through, and it's actually lighting up the rainfall. So I've switched to quite a fast shutter speed to see if I can actually capture some of that rain. Because of where we are, it's actually requiring me to have quite a high ISO in order to get a reasonable exposure. So it's a bit of a trade-off, isn't it? But I like that. I like that. I'm going to try zoom in and see if I can really emphasise that tree. Yeah, it's definitely starting to feel very autumnal. Got the leaves starting to fall round about me. It's just a little hint of mist and a goose overhead. Always adds to the atmosphere. So that didn't work. I got right in amongst all these ferns. I was way up the back there in the ferns. It was one of those ones where it looked like the best viewpoint was just a little bit further along. So I got deeper and deeper into the forest, but the views, they just didn't do what I was trying to get. So I've come back to the main path now. I'm getting quite close to the bottom, so more ways than one. Yeah, once I get to the bottom here, they've got two choices. One is to go down to the loch side itself, and the other is to skirt back towards the car park and see if we can shoot that big tree. We'll decide at the bottom which one we're doing it. It's amazing when you let your mind run. Well, it's often one. I had this very, very strange feeling that I was being watched. And once you get that feeling, that you can't shake it. There's nobody here. There is a bit of a breeze, and it's, I don't know if we'll be able to see this from behind me, but there's a bit of a breeze, and it does, things move suddenly. That, you know, a second ago we're nice and still, and then all of a sudden, boom, they move, and it can be quite off-putting. Oh, look at this. I don't know if you can see that, with a little rain shower there, and again I'm shooting right into the sun, so the sun was bright, picking out the raindrops as they were falling. I'm sure there's a song there. Anyway, onwards and downwards. I think this is a little kiddies play area here. Yeah. Nothing says kiddies play area more than little stepping stones, little kind of wooden tree house type thing, raging bonfire. Yeah, I guess this is for Halloween now. You drag the witch from there, put her in jail for a little while and then torture. Lovely. Yeah, kind of at the split now. There's a gate, I don't know if you can see that. If you come here and you're looking to go down to the water side, there's a gate there. Go that way. Make sure you close the gate, because I've been down there a few times and there's been cattle down at the loch side, and obviously you don't want to leave that gate lying open just in the off chance. Yeah, I'm making my way behind me, heading back along the path now towards the car, and that big oak, if it's an oak. I can't believe how different this place looks from springtime. It's stunning, it's a beautiful place, I'd thoroughly recommend a visit. Right, what I'm doing here is I've set up a composition where we've got this big tree silhouetted by the sun there, and I think as the sun moves round, what we should get is that kind of thing where you get the sunburst coming through the gap in those two branches. So I think it's just a matter of waiting for a couple of minutes for the sun to move around slightly, but yeah, that's how it looks on the back of the camera. It looks nice. What I've done is I've stopped down to F9, but I think I might actually change that. It's a bit of a juggling match because there's quite a breeze and these ferns in the foreground are moving around quite a bit, so I don't want them too blurry. So I'm trying to shoot in between little breezes. But yeah, look, the sun's just starting to come through the gap in the branches now. Okay, so I'm back down to the big oak tree, but unfortunately it's still in darkness. And what I thought was a photographer and a model is actually a videographer with a couple of models. It looks like they're doing some sort of tourist thing. He's got them posing with maps and looking confused, so I left them to it. Unfortunately, they're right next to the big oak, so looks a bit odd me just hanging about waiting for the light to appear. So I've come a bit further down, and I think it's going to take, looking at another hour or two before the light actually gets to the oak. So I might have to just leave that for this trip. And I'm very close to the car now, so I'll probably head back to the car and get back home, see if I can get this edited and processed, etc. in order for it to be released tonight. Bit nervous about that, but we'll see how that goes. I might make this my last shot. I quite like the way the light's hitting that there. So yeah, maybe set up, see if we can get something here. Well, that's us for another week. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry it was a little bit rushed. I normally try and get these done about a week in advance. If you like if you like the video, then please consider giving me a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Sorry, it's really bright and it's right in my eyes.